Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. There's a lot going on right now. I guess to start things off, so for the beginning, it appears that at least the news that we're getting right now, Bitcoin, the wider cryptocurrency market, and the stock markets around the world have risen in price as it appears. So we are learning right now, we don't know what the situation will be in a week, that the current world situation could apparently be evening out and or lessening. If you're looking at the screen, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and this has caused stock markets around the world, and I guess subsequently also the cryptocurrency market, to become relatively more optimistic and or bullish that we could have potentially seen the worst of what's happening, and maybe things may be on their way to getting slightly back to normal. This is the news that is kind of all over the place right now. This one says Dow Jones surges 690 points. Stock market rally. You can see that right there. A lot of places are reporting lower numbers. They're saying that they're seeing a tapering, and this has caused a lot of optimism in many different markets as the current situation has all but rattled investor sentiment in the entire situation. It's very annoying having to choose my words. It's funny, I was watching another video from some other investor yesterday, and he even mentioned it as well in his video. He's like, I have to like dance on eggshells because yeah, so at the moment prices are up for the cryptocurrency market as they are for the stock market. I mean, we're not seeing like record astronomically crazy, oh my gosh, numbers, but it's more like a last night before I went to bed, Bitcoin was already up by 10%. And over the last 24 hours, I think we're up around a good 4-5%, somewhere around there, because the last 12 hours have been pushed away from the charts. So we are still seeing some gains in the market. I do not know. No one knows if this is going to continue. Bitcoin apparently tried last night to, I think, get over 6,700. Apparently it was rejected, so saith the analyst, and therefore I think we're floating around 64, somewhere right there. It is Tuesday, if the rest of the week ends up being good, great, better than it's been the last couple of weeks, expect some more money to be poured into the market. Even just going up by 10% on a hope is a very good indication that should that hope actually be real, then markets around the world will begin to rebound. So that is the price news. And if you notice the tone of my voice when I started this video, it's because the last 12 hours, not only has markets recovering kind of brought back this like optimistic sentiment into the market, but a lot of things have been happening around the world. You remember before when I discussed with all of you, we will probably see a lot of power grabs over the next couple of months. The first major one has taken place, and it happened last night. For those of you who are not looking at the screen or may not be looking at the screen, and those of you who are looking at the screen, you are probably shocked right now. Hungary, which is a country in Eastern Europe, depends on how you look at the map. Last night, they signed a bill that gave their prime minister complete power over the country. And the issue is that there's no time limit for that power. The C bill, which allows Orban to rule by decree and bypass the National Assembly, passed by 137 to 53 votes. Despite opposition efforts to stop all of it. He has now complete power. I was talking to a couple of friends before I made this video. Apparently this has been going on for years. like little trinkets. You know, every once in a while, a new bill would get passed, and people within the government would have a bit more power. The issue is that this gives him complete control. And one of the things inside the bill says whenever he doesn't want to be in control anymore, that's when he'll change things. So one can only assume if you've been working for 3 to 5 years to have complete control, and now you have it, there's probably not going to be a situation in 18 months where he's like, I've had my time, this is okay. About 26 minutes ago, this is also something as well. Apparently, the curriculum within Hungary will also be changing, and their history books, I'm not joking, their history books will be rewritten to promote pride in the nation. This is incredibly crazy. I didn't, maybe because I didn't pay close enough attention to everything that's been happening around the world, is a lot sometimes. This is going to change the entire face of that country. This is going to change a lot of things as we know it. There are many other countries around the world who are doing this exact same thing, and it's going to work for them. Part of the problem is, especially, I think it even has, if you even see right here, where my mouse is pointing, for those of you who can look at the screen, their current situation of what's happening in the world is a fragment of what other places, especially like the States, are currently going through. But this was signed into law as a, if you give me all the power, I can make it go away kind of thing. So, I do assume traditional stock markets are not open yet. I'm not sure if this will rattle them at all. But once again, there are many countries around the world who are doing things like this. This goes back to what we were talking about it had to be no more than a week ago. Remember, I said there were certain governments who were announcing that based off of what's happening currently in the world, that they should be able to track people who have or have had it, so that they can see where they're going around the world, just in case it happens, you know, whatever excuse they had to use for being able to track people 24/7. And other countries around the world were like, yeah, that also does sound good. So we are now in a situation where governments are going to desperately try to pass as many bills and pass as many things as possible. If you think that this cannot happen in your country, ask people in Hungary 5 years ago if they thought that this would happen. Their prime minister is basically their king now, as he has unchallenged, unchecked powers. He can do exactly what he wants. This happened 26 minutes ago. He is now going to be rewriting the history books, amongst other things, if you are reading the screen, because he can do so. So that's you have to understand the gravity of the situation. I have to choose my words correctly because of the powers that be over this platform. But this is extremely worrying, because I'm pretty sure other places have taken notice, and they're probably going to try and do the exact same thing. Not to scare you, it's just more of a make sure, while crypto news is fascinating, a lot of the other parts of the world are also crumbling. So yeah, I don't know what effect this will have on the markets, but it's not good in general. Next up, Binance is in the news. Binance Academy, the educational arm of leading crypto exchange Binance, announced the establishment of a blockchain research institute in Shanghai on the 30th of March. The Lingang Blockchain Technology and Industry Research Institute is intended to operate as a think tank and talent hub for distributed ledger technology innovation in China. To accelerate the application of DLT in China, Binance's Blockchain Institute plans to integrate blockchain with other emerging technologies with an established foothold in the country, including artificial intelligence, big data and Internet of Things, these aren't good things in China. They use them to completely control their people. The Blockchain Research Institute is headed by Don Tapscott, who will act as the honorary dean of the organization. Tapscott describes DLT as representing the second era of the Internet of Value, adding that blockchain technologies will drive the creation of innovative and productive organizations. So, without having to read much further, a lot of companies have been trying desperately to get into China in any type of way that deals with blockchain and or crypto. We know that crypto is legal and people can buy it, but they cannot trade it. So I assume this is simply Binance trying to get a foothold should any window open up where crypto exchanges are allowed within China, but over the complete purview of the government, that Binance will already have a foot and they'll be able to say, hey, here we are. However, it is a bit worrying. This is my opinion that they are going to be helping with the creation of AI, big data, and IoT within the country, because if you have never, once again, watched the documentary or a news piece, if you're on YouTube, or rather open up a new tab and type in the Sesame credit score, or Google it on your phone or your tablet, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It's a huge problem. It's going to get even bigger. So the fact that they're a little mingled up in this, it's not sitting too well with me. Here's the actual blog post right here. It says, Binance Academy establishes blockchain technology and industry research institute in China. Kind of is what it is, but let's move on. Next up, France's central bank wants to experiment with integrating digital currencies. France's central bank wants to experiment, I just said those words. On the 27th of March, the Banque de France published a request for proposals for central bank digital currency experiment applications. These projects will help France's central bank understand the risks and mechanisms of central bank digital currencies and also contribute to the Eurozone's digital cash conversation. The call brings France to the front of the debate and its highest profile Eurozone member to launch a central bank digital currency experiment to date. Sweden, whose Riksbank is also toying with digitizing currency, uses the krona. The Bank of France has advocated for experimental and advanced fintech projects for at least 4 years, sometimes hinting through job postings and speeches that it would also be eyeing the development of a central bank digital currency. They said, we as central banks must and want to take up this call for innovation at a time when private initiatives, especially payment between financial players and technologies, are accelerating and public and political demand is increasing. There's a mishmash of a lot of things going on here. It's the fear that decentralized cryptocurrencies will gain hold and become more popular than fiat currencies. There's the fear that people will simply choose things like Telegram, Libra, or any other platform that might be launching within the next couple of months and or years, as opposed to using fiat currencies. And it's also, I think this also, my opinion, me, myself, also ties directly into a bit of the power grab type thing. This isn't being done for the convenience of anyone. We are not going to see a hyper digitized and or digitization of fiat currencies to make it easier for you to be able to go buy apples at the supermarket. It's done so that payments are completely tracked. This has happened in many other countries and the proposal's already there. This happened before, if you remember, in India has also had proposals for a central bank digital currency, and it's because India believes or says that they're losing out on billions of dollars per year by people not paying their taxes, or even just by simply, I'm not joking, people in the street who beg and may ask for money, that and at some point should also be taxed because they're also receiving a wage in a certain way, and or people who may simply just be working or being paid completely in cash, which apparently is still a huge thing around the world, and they believe that they should have a cut of that. So when everything is digital, they will know exactly how much you... I don't know if you've ever seen, once again, going back to China, I don't know if you've ever seen when people who are without homes or people who are without money in China who sit on the street and ask for money, Some of them actually have a QR code like directly in front of them, and you can actually just scan the QR code with your phone, and that's how they get money. We're in the future. It's a little dystopian, but we are in the future. So expect more conversations like this to happen. I am going to assumption and say that these things are probably already created. They probably have been created for a while. That maybe the systems just need to be revved up, cleaned up a little bit more. But within the next 5 years, these are going to be everywhere. The fact that you have to understand, whenever things happen behind the scenes within governments, it usually takes us a good year, give or take, to actually receive that information as the public. So the fact that these calls are now going out, I assume many countries already have it. They're just kind of waiting to be able to integrate it and or initiate it. But that's, of course, my brain and how I think. Here's the actual blog post, the website post. I don't know what to even call this right here. It says, call for application central bank digital currency experimentations from the Banque de France. Let's move on. It's funny how time works and how time works. We were just talking about them last week after I had never heard of this company before in my life. Hive Blockchain Technologies, a Canada-based publicly traded Ether mining firm, is diversifying into Bitcoin mining operations. Announcing the news on Monday, Hive said it is acquiring a 30-megawatt Bitcoin mining facility from CryptoLogic Corporation for about 4 million Canadian dollars in Quebec. Hive currently has Ether mining facilities in Sweden and Iceland. The firm said the acquisition would more than double its total available power capacity globally to approximately 50 megawatts. This is an important strategic acquisition for Hive that diversifies our business significantly, and we are making it an opportune time at an attractive valuation for our shareholders. The acquisition provides us with an advanced operating Bitcoin mining facility ready to transition to next generation mining hardware. Sure, this news was kind of all over the place. I decided to only have one article here for the sake of space and space. Cool. Like I said, when we spoke about them last week and I said that I had never heard about them, I saw at least 13 people who were like, I know what Hive is. I had never heard of Hive before in my entire life. Lo and behold, they are kind of everywhere now. They might even be trying to make themselves more active in the news so that that lawsuit thing that they have going on, or the cease and desist, I guess plays a bigger role, because they can say, yeah, see, we're in the news. People know about us. I assume, first of all, I think it's odd in general that anyone would be mining just Ether, especially, and I put it to you this way. If you have a smaller operation and you're just mining Ether, cool, go for it. But when you have millions of dollars you can put towards something and you're just mining Ether, it's a bit odd. You should also you mine the number one before you mine the number two, or you mine them at the exact same time. The other point being, I assume this is a hedge in some sort of way. If they have all of this mining capability facilities, if Ethereum does indeed transition to proof of stake sometime this year, a lot of those machines won't really come into play, because you can just simply have it on your computer and it'll stake itself through the network. So I guess kudos to them for going to the future. I have no idea what I'm trying to say. Here's the actual press release from them. It says Hive blockchain doubles global mining capacity with acquisition of 30 megawatts Bitcoin operation in Canada. Wonderful. I'm glad to hear that they are mining cryptocurrencies. Next up, in news that was without a doubt everywhere news, major Spanish bank Santander plans to roll out its Ripple-powered international payment system OnePayFX in Mexico in 2020. In a Form 20F filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on the 6th of March, the bank revealed that Mexico will be offering the service in early 2020. Based on Ripple's RippleNet technology, OnePayFX is independent from XRP and does not need the digital currency to function, as a Santander spokesperson previously outlined to Cointelegraph. In its Form 20F filing, an annual report that must be submitted by the SEC by all foreign private issuers, When listed equity shares on you, who cares? Multiple corridor international blockchain solutions for individuals and SMEs, small to medium enterprises. OnePay FX first launched in 4 Santander banks in Spain, Brazil, Poland, and the US back in 2018. Santander, Portugal, and Chile joined the solution the following year. This news was everywhere. I guess the news is that they're using Ripple's technology. The other part being that they're not using XRP. Who knows if in the future they may one day decide to choose to use XRP. But I kept on seeing a lot of the news touted out there as if they were exclusively using XRP. But then when you look around and find other articles, they are not using XRP at all. But I guess the significance being that they are still using, once again, Ripple's technology. So cool. I have to sneeze, but it won't come out, and it's kind of annoying me. It's like just like right there. It's on the cusp of. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. And to finish things off, Tezos. Oh no, wait. Tezos co-founder. There we go. Kathleen Brightman is preparing to launch the alpha version of the game built on top of Tezos, a crypto-powered collectible card game called Emergence. There's so many crypto collectible card games. It's Emergence in-game cards will comprise non-fungible tokens that players have full ownership over. Kawasa, who's Kawasa? Kawasa intends, to comprise both a primary and secondary marketplace for cards. The company will also act as both a buyer and a seller for the non-fungible tokens. While Brightman has been planning the game since 2018, she announced Kawasa, the company that will, there we go, the company that will launch Emergence in May 2019. The company is composed of Brightman, former professional Magic the Gathering player Zwei Moschwitz, former Pokemon and Magic developer Alan Comer, and game designer Brian David Marshall. I mean, at least they have, from the most popular card games out there. Kawasa will initially launch a free base set of cards, with new cards being made available for purchase on a weekly basis. Cards will be priced and paid for in Tezos. However, there will also be a fiat gateway that conceals the cryptocurrency transactions for players who do not wish to handle crypto. Initially launch a free cards made available. If it's a free-to-play blockchain card game, that's kind of cool. Mainly because a lot of the other cryptocurrency card games, I'm looking at stuff that's on EOS and Ethereum. You have to pay like for everything you do, like every single thing you buy, every card you get. I like free things, and I like free card games. So anyway, this was also kind of everywhere. I mean, it was lightly sprinkled across the crypto news space. I guess it's another. I won't use the word use case because all blockchains can do stuff like this, but I guess it's another. I don't know. It's just a card game on top of Tezos. There are multiple other card games on tons of other blockchains. I guess maybe because this is the first one. Sure. I wish them the best. If the game is actually free and you can kind of just like win gold or like win credits in the game, I might end up playing it. Why not? Anyway, yeah, that's the Tezos news for today. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Professor Wally from Gunbot University, Yasha Harari, Moonman High, XRP, Joshua Vineyard, Martin Stoyer, Josh Gorsica, Chongololo, Songololo, A Bibliophobia, The Animal Reader, John Sarson, Mr. Pickles, Nostromo, Barebones Mining, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Moham Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Brady Nield, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the world, Crypto Joe, Bankroll Network, Adobo, Mill, Wheezy, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Nicholas from Earth, One Piece, One Love, Richie Rich, The Three, Nick Kanaya, Setsuna, Damien, Anthony Charles, Nick Mangialavori, Paxis, Cryptombia Shipmate, The Impaler, Vlad, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Coins Minting, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes, number 2 Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Medic 17, ARF, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa on Crypto with Lionel, URL, Crayola Michelle, I have to sneeze. Hold on. And I actually do have to sneeze, which is really funny. Like it's bothering the heck out of me. It just won't. I know the moment I'm like done recording, I'm going to be sneezing all over the room. Anyway, thank you all very, very much to my Patreon supporters. I do appreciate you immensely in this time of just complete nonsense. And thank you to everyone who is a supporter of the channel. I do appreciate you as well. At the moment, the cryptocurrency market is green. It's up. Bitcoin is currently up by 3.58%. Let's see exactly how this continues as the day ends up going on. We are very close to 6,500. I assume we will try either today and or tomorrow, depending on how the opening of the stock market goes. Try to hit 7,000 once again. Apparently, 7,000 is like the golden cross that we need to pass by in order for us to have any type of bullish momentum towards 8,000. I think we'll be fine. It's just, I'm assuming, this is my assumption, I think we have a good 6 more weeks of all of this to go on. I know it sounds crazy, but it seems the most realistic right now. I don't think it's 2 weeks. I don't think it's 4. I think 6 weeks will be, we'll see a bit more, hopefully, normalcy kind of seeping back into everyday life. But at the moment, I'm giving it a good 6. Yeah, the market's up, except for like some anomalies, but it kind of is what it is. We'll see what happens. Either way, I believe in the long-term prospects, so I am buying whether it's up or down. Very weird news day. Very, 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 like it's a lot. I can see my phone going crazy right now because of all the messages I'm getting. This is a very weird time for everyone, and the world will emerge a very different place because, yeah, regardless of the insanity, I do hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.